What is going on, everyone? Welcome to 24/7 Football, and the football season is back this weekend after such a long pre-season. I think we've had about 2 weeks since the Champions League ended and the football season starts again. So this weekend we've got the Premier League coming up, so I'm going to go through my predictions for the top four. Who will win the Premier League, of course, Europa League, bottom three, most red cards, top goal scorer, blah, blah, blah. These predictions will not be true come the end of the season. Believe me when I say that, but I think it's fair and right for me to give you my opinion, and I want to know your opinions in the comments below as well. So let's start with the big one. Who is going to win the Premier League? And I've said this on Redmen TV, it's probably going to be biased in the fact that I think Manchester City will win the Premier League, and there's a bit of reasoning behind it as well. It's going to be between City and Liverpool. There's no getting away from that for me. Whether it'll be as big as a points haul as previous seasons with the amount of competition in the Premier League, I don't think so, but I still think it'll be between those two clubs, and you could literally flip either side because Liverpool have got just as much a chance to win it as Manchester City. I just think you can't underestimate the fire in the belly mentality that are going to be in that Manchester City team, which was the same as what was in Liverpool's team last season because they finally won the Premier League. And a lot of teams will tell you it's so hard to retain it and to go on and do it even more. So it will be a different season, especially for those types of teams. I mean, City coming back had a rubbish season last season. They have got a point to prove next season, especially with Pep Guardiola putting in some money into the club again in the likes of Nathan Ake, Ferran Torres as well, and you got to be thinking there could be a Koulibaly and there could also be a Lionel Messi joining. Now if that happens, I say undoubtedly Man City will win the Premier League, but at the moment it's between Liverpool and City. I can't really separate the two. Going to the wider top four, I think the places will be City in first, Liverpool in second, Chelsea in third, Manchester United in fourth. That can easily change. The reason why I say it can easily change is because we don't know what the two managers at both Chelsea and United are like with these squads. They both did a good job last season. I'd probably say Lampard did a very good job with what he had at his disposal. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. But there's no excuses for Lampard this season. No excuses whatsoever. And he has been backed heavily. Roman Abramovich really put his hands in his pockets. And Chelsea have got a very, very good team. And they should sign Havertz as well. So if Lampard doesn't get them playing the right way, or at least challenging near the title, it'll be seen as a failure for them, and it could go either way. But on paper, Chelsea have got the third best squad for me in the Premier League now. Manchester United as well. You know, they just signed Donny van der Beek. Could Jadon Sancho come, and Upamecano as well? If that happens, again, they've got a similar squad to Chelsea, and anything but top four will be a massive failure, especially given last season when both teams with weaker squads managed to squeeze into the top four. Now, Europa League, it's a little bit of a difficult one because you've got so many clubs in and around. Leicester, who just missed out on Champions League last season, but haven't really improved that squad, and they've lost a key asset in Ben Chilwell as well, and they finished the season horrifically. So I don't have them for Europa League. I've got Arsenal because I think they ended the season really well under Mikel Arteta. He's made a few good signings, and they like I just said, they finished the season very well, winning the FA Cup, started it with a Community Shield win as well, and as the more time he is there, Mikel Arteta, the more time he has to work with that team and implement his style of play. I think Arsenal are going to be a surprise package next season. I think they'll finish fifth. They could even push Champions League, but I don't think they've got the squad depth for it. However, we've seen stranger things, and I think Arsenal are going to be fifth, followed by either Tottenham or Wolves. Tottenham, just because I've been watching the All or Nothing documentary, and Jose Mourinho is just a serial winner, and he gets the best out of the squad. They've made a few decent signings with Doherty in particular, areas that they needed to strengthen. They've not strengthened as much as maybe Tottenham fans and neutrals alike would have predicted with that, so it's a bit of a shame for Tottenham, but I still think with the likes of Harry Kane, they'll be okay this season. And I've put Wolves in there as well because apart from Matt Doherty, they've kept the core nucleus of that squad. I know we've got till October for the window, but I think with keeping Jimenez, key players as well, and they could make additions. I think Wolves are in for another good season. You've got to remember a squad that has been together now for many years and just know how each other play. And Nuno really does just get the best out of his team. So I think Wolves and Tottenham going for that last Europa League place, and it could get quite fiery because, like I say, you've got Everton as well who are making moves. You know, the potential for Allen and James Rodriguez, managed by Carlo Ancelotti, and you could even make a case for the likes of Southampton. Leicester are going to be up there again. Whether they'll be in those places remains to be seen, but they've got a good enough squad to be top half challenging. So it's going to be interesting and it's very hard to predict. I'll come back next season and this will all be wrong, but these are just my opinions. Now, bottom three. This is the key one for the Premier League, and it's a big one, isn't it? Because the Premier League brings in so much money for clubs. You'd argue that the Europa League places aren't as important as the bottom three just because of the money that these clubs want to save. So bottom three for me looks like Fulham. I think they'll go down. Anything could happen though, it has to be said. Anything could happen, but at this moment in time I think Fulham will go down. I think Scott Parker is a little bit out of his depth as a manager at the top level. The only reason I say that is because he should have been in the automatics last season with the squad that he inherited and the squad that he built. But they did go up via the playoffs, and not many managers can say they've gone up in the Championship, so it is a fantastic achievement. I just don't know whether he's got it in him to survive relegation with Fulham. So for me, Fulham, one of the favourites to go down. Then I'll go Aston Villa. Now, it all depends on whether Aston Villa can just make a few more signings in the summer. They spent heavily last season. They did stay up, but they didn't play well. For me, Dean Smith again seems like a manager out of his depth. And I don't think he's the man to lead Villa further up the table. I could be so wrong. I could be really wrong in what I'm saying. But for me, just from what I've been seeing, I don't think Dean Smith is the man for Aston Villa should they want to stay in the Premier League and become a mid-table side. Jack Grealish staying is a massive bonus for them. I think should they have been relegated, he would have been off. But his loyalty is that much towards Aston Villa that I think he'll stay this season. And also they're pricing him out of a move anyway. So with Jack Grealish, they've got a huge chance of staying up, but for me, I just don't think they'll have enough, and I think we will see Aston Villa go down next season. Finally, West Brom to go down as well. As much as they had a good season last season, they've got a very, very good Championship squad, and they've made some good signings, and it looks like they're going to sign Dianga from West Ham as well, which is a very big prospect for them. But they're just accustomed to the limbo of Premiership and Championship, and I don't think West Brom will have enough. As much as Bilic is a good manager and they've got a decent squad, I just think it's a Championship squad, and I don't think they'll have enough to stay up. But like I said, could be massively wrong. You've got other teams in and around there. You know, Leeds, I think they'll be a surprise package just because of Marcelo Bielsa. Other than that, I would have had Leeds as one of the favourites to go down, but I just think Bielsa is that good of a manager, and it's going to be great to watch him next season as well. But Leeds will be in and around there. You've got teams such as Brighton. Again, they've got the potential to be a surprise package, but you've got teams around that calibre fighting off relegation. It's going to be an interesting season, and it's going to be one packed with quality, hopefully from top to bottom, and hopefully we get one of the best Premier League seasons that we've had. Now, who do I think will be sacked first? I think the first sacking of the season will come at Craven Cottage. I think it will be Scott Parker. Just alluding to the fact that, like I said before, I don't think he's really cut out for the Premier League, but he could prove me wrong and he could be fantastic in a Premier League setting next season. But I think he will be one of the first to go, because I'm not going to say it's just Scott Parker. Any manager would struggle to keep Fulham in the Premier League next season. And when the going gets tough, we know that teams like Fulham will change their managers to try anything to stay in the Premier League, and we know that'll happen. So Fulham to go down for me, and I think Scott Parker could be one of the ones to be sacked. Another one at that for me was Brendan Rodgers, because Leicester was so poor towards the end of last season. If he can't get them out of that rut and they have a poor start next season, he could be one of the men to go. And surprising one, it could actually be Frank Lampard. I don't think we're one of the first to go, but I think he could face the chop next season just because there's so much pressure, and Roman Abramovich has backed him to the high hill now financially. Is that a kiss of death for a manager? He had an excuse, not an excuse, but you could sort of see why they were performing poorly when he did, because he inherited a squad and he wasn't allowed to make any signings, and he really brought through the youth, and I thought he had a great season. But should he go on a bad run this season, is there any security there to stop him from being sacked? I think the only thing that would stop him from being sacked is that he is a club legend and he's got that rapport with the fans. Other than that, if they have a horrific season after spending all that money, it could be Frank Lampard's time, but only time will tell. I don't think it'll get to that. And finally, top scorer. Where do I think the top scorer will be coming? It'll change if Lionel Messi comes into the Premier League, but I can't look anywhere else other than Harry Kane for me. There's others like Sadio Mane, Sergio Aguero, Raheem Sterling, Mo Salah. Big players. Timo Werner as well. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on. But Harry Kane for me oozes goals. He's the centrepiece of that Spurs side. No matter how they are playing, he will bag goals, and Jose Mourinho knows that. And he's at the centrepiece of everything for Tottenham. Free kicks, penalties. And I just think Harry Kane for the Golden Boot, should he stay fit. But those other players in the round can easily come just as good and snatch that Golden Boot. But if Lionel Messi comes to the Premier League, my answer will be Lionel Messi. You can't look past the best player to ever play the game. So the Premier League is here. Follow it here on 24/7 Football. We're going for a very, very good season, and then we've got Euro 2020, which is being played in 2021 in the summer as well. It's going to be a great year for football. I hope you can all enjoy it here on 24/7 Football. A big season for us as well. We want to do documentaries, want to do more fan videos, and hopefully this season can go unhitched without the threat of COVID-19. So thank you everyone for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Like the video. Check out our website 247football.com. Thank you again to everyone who has subscribed. It really does mean a massive amount, and we shall see you next time.